What's up, America? We are live at the #1 internet radio station, IntellectualRadio.com, which is an iHeartRadio station. We promise to feed your brain in this 1 hour intellectual dialogue hour. Today, we're going to be celebrating, saluting a legacy, an icon. And the list just goes on and on. We're going to be sharing some information, giving introspection, and providing inspiration. We're going to be sharing nothing but inspiring great thoughts about Doug Banks. Mm-hmm. He has been in radio for 30 plus years. He started back with Banks and Company. He's been on GCI. He's been on V103. He's been on I think it's BMX. To Doug Banks from 2 to 6. He was originally with Dee Dee McGuire as his co-host, and now he had Dee Dee Renee. And I had the pleasure of hanging out with them last year with Mary Green at the 2015 Black Women's Expo. Doug Banks was one of the greatest urban radio person now grace the radio airwaves. And we're going to be saluting him, playing some of his commercials, listening to that very, very distinctive voice. If you have a comment or a thought or prayer for Doug Banks, his wife Wendy, his daughter Kennedy, his other daughter Kelly, we're going to come back and give you a number to call in, but we're going to be saluting the icon, the legacy in radio, Doug Banks, on IntellectualRadio.com. Back in a moment.
Hi, my name is Tina Olivia Pay. Listen to Making Waves with Miss Darci on IR and iHeart radio station, Tuesday and Thursday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. We love you, Miss Darci.
Oh. Hey, this is Lenny Williams, and I enjoy listening to IntellectualRadio.com and Making Waves with Miss Darci.
It's a new year and the first anniversary of our revolutionary acne treatment. To celebrate, we have an amazing new offer for you. Order Proactive Plus, and for a special limited time, you'll pay just $19.95. Imagine yourself with skin so clear and beautiful, you go after all the things you want. Make it happen today with Proactive Plus.
That's a huge difference. Look at that. Proactive Plus makes me feel amazingly beautiful.
Proactive Plus is dermatologist developed to help seek out and fix problem areas on your skin. And it's proven to work 4 times faster than the leading prescription.
This product is doing it. I started seeing results with Proactive Plus within the first week.
Now's the best time ever to order because we're offering extra savings to first-time customers. Call 1-800-773-5681 to get our 3-step system plus free gifts and free shipping, all just $19.95.
I use Proactive Plus every day. Like, I literally use this stuff.
My name's Christina, and I drive with Uber because it gives me the time to spend with my son.
My name is Paul Roybal, and music's a big part of my life, and Uber allows me to keep it that way.
Danny. I drive with Uber. It really helps me with my English.
My name is Miles Foster. Uber gives me the space to pursue my dreams.
Back. If you're just tuning in, Making Waves with Miss Darci right here on IntellectualRadio.com, which is an iHeart radio station every Tuesday and Thursday starting at 12 p.m. I am your on-air host, Miss Darci D.
I'm your co-host, Romeo. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Giant of Chicago.
And today, introduce yourself. We also have an intern.
And I'm the intern, Khalil Scott.
So today yesterday we got the news that Doug Banks had died, and it was, I can't even describe how I felt when I saw it. I thought it wasn't true. I thought it was a hoax or somebody playing games like they do on social media. But Doug Banks May he rest in peace. He was an icon. He been in radio for 30 years. And today we're going to be saluting Doug Banks. So if you have a comment or you have history with Doug Banks or you remember something funny he said on the ride home from 2 to 6 or you met him somewhere, call in and let's celebrate and salute this legendary icon. Let's call in and Khalil, get him the number to call in.
708-223-8953.
Just remembering some of his. So I'm going to play him speaking. Just give us one moment.
Doug Banks Show.
How you doing?
Good. Who's
Kurt Wallace.
What's up, Kurt?
Now that makes me nervous.
Was a voice of Doug Banks. And we're going to go down the line, just reminiscing on the legendary Doug Banks. Before we get started, I want to make a special announcement for this month, Compliments of American Express. We're going to be giving away $200 cash. $200 cash. And if you don't know what to do with $200, I'm sure if you win, we can help you spend it.
Yes, we will.
So to win the $200, go to Making Waves with Miss Darci or Darci D. Redmond. You can also go to Romeo. You can go to Khalil Scott. Here are the details. The contest rule is to invite 10 friends to like Making Waves with Miss Darci. That's not hard to do. Create a 2-minute elevator pitch with your name, what you do, why you do it, who's your target audience, and who's your ideal client, and how can we reach you. It has to be 2 minutes or less. You can email it to Makin, M-A-K-I-N, Waves, W-A-V-E-S, with W-I-T-H, Darci, D-A-R-C-I, at Gmail. Or you can call in to Intellectual Radio every Tuesday and Thursday up until the 28th of this month and say, I want to pitch my 2-minute elevator pitch. We have 5 judges that are going to vote on the things that we ask you to describe in your 2-minute elevator pitch. And the person that wins, the $200 cash winner, will be announced on Tuesday, May 3rd at 1 o'clock. So the phone lines should be burning up right now because there are a lot of entrepreneurs, there are a lot of business owners who have a product, service, or brand, and they want it to be known on the airwaves. So here is your opportunity to call in for your chance to win that $200 cash for the best elevator pitch, compliments of our sponsor, American Express. So if you don't know what to do, then maybe you're not an entrepreneur, okay, but I'm gonna leave that alone. But we're gonna reminisce on the legendary Doug Banks. I'm still in shock. First of all and foremost, my heart and prayers go out to his wife, Wendy, to his daughters, Kennedy and Kelly, and to all of his fans all over the world. He will truly be missed. And I'm like Beyonce, Doug Banks is irreplaceable. You cannot replace the legendary Doug Banks. So if you have a comment, if you have history with Doug Banks, something you would like to share, if today is your birthday, happy birthday to you on this special day, celebrating your birthday. Here's wishing you a whole lot of happiness and a lot of sweet surprises. Happy birthday from Making Waves with Miss Darci and crew.
Yay.
So, Romeo, let me ask you, when you heard the news about the passing of Doug Banks, what was the first thing that went through your mind?
Well, I didn't think it was real.
It just didn't seem like it.
I got a phone call from one of my good friends, and they said, well, Doug Banks passed. And I said, where you get that from? He said on Facebook. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's just a joke. And he's like, no, it's all day on my timeline. I said, well, I ain't gonna believe it until somebody
that really serious said.
Put it up there.
But when I saw it on ABC7, and I saw it on USA Today, and I saw it on Forbes, and I was like, wow, Chicago Sun-Times, Chicago Tribune. And it just started floating. Doug Banks has been in radio for nearly 40 years, and he gained millions of listeners all over the United States. That's unbelievable. His professionalism was the highest standard in my book. So my condolences again to his family, his friends, all his listeners. It's just still, he's one of the greatest urban radio personalities to grace radio
He is.
airwaves.
He has paved the way, especially for the Black community.
Exactly. And it, just to give you a little history on Doug, they had not Marv Dyson. I think it was, I can't remember his name. He was on from 2 to 6. They had George Wilborn, Bonnie DeShawn, Joe Soto, Ramonski, and people were calling in, giving their stories or how they met Doug or they saw him at an event and how his personality was. And he was first noticed on K-Day in Los Angeles. And he moved around to other radio stations his career. He was in Las Vegas, San Francisco, and here in Chicago. WVAZ, which was WBMX. He hosted the morning show. He went from 1.8 listeners to 5.6 listeners. And then he was given a shot at a nationally syndicated spot on radio. Unbelievable. It made huge numbers. And at that time, his host was Dee Dee McGuire. She's also an amazing lady. And then he teamed up with Dee Dee Renee in the later years. And they start hosting the afternoon, which was the ride with Doug and Dee Dee. That was with Dee Dee McGuire. And then he went back to his original name, The Doug Banks Show. But I heard history yesterday that he had a show called Banks and Company. So he has so much history. He was known for his adult conversation. You would ask Doug. He had the Dear Doug letter. And I remember just growing up with Doug Banks. So it's just really hard to imagine 2 to 6 not hearing Doug. And when he promised to be at an event, he made every event. I met him last year with Mary Green at her Black Women's Expo at McCormick Place. And I walked up to him and Dee Dee Renee, and me and my team, we took pictures with them. He was so humble. And I said, could I ask you one question? And he said, give me 1 minute. Let me sign some autographs and take some pictures. And I stood on to the side, patiently waiting. He came over there and he said, what's your question? I said, I'm in radio and I just want one piece of advice. And he looked at me. He said, you just want one piece of advice? He said, most people say, I need 3 things. Can you answer this? Can you tell me how to do this? He said, you just want one piece of advice? I said, I just want one piece of advice because I could take that and build on it. And he looked at me, he put his hand on my shoulder, and he said, you're absolutely right. So, of course, he said to me, and at that time, I think Charles Shoemate, Sharon Henderson, and I don't know who else was with me that day. And he said, let's go upstairs to Connie's and have a slice of pizza. And I was like, huh? So he looking at me, he said, you want one piece of advice, right? I said, yeah. He said, let's go up the escalator and have a slice of pizza at Connie's, and I'll give you one piece of advice. So I'm looking, just me and you? He said, you got a problem with me? I was like, wow. I looked at them. I was like, yeah, I'll be back. I'm out. Let's go, Doug. So we went up to the escalator. We were talking. We sat down, had a slice of pizza. Of course, I offered to pay because I was in shock. But he gave me my advice, and I never will forget. That was a surreal moment and the last time I got to interact with Doug Banks. I was intending on going to the Black Women's Expo this year, but I wasn't able to make it. But Doug had just had chemo, and he still got on a plane and came for the Black Women Expo today. Doug Banks ended his career here in Chicago. Time we heard he had passed. And what I like about Doug, which I'm going to work on, is he when he's in radio, he shares a lot of his personal information. When he started chemo, he shared his chemo, he shared his triumphs. When he got married to Wendy, he shared that. When he had his daughter, he shared that. When his kidneys failed and he was diagnosed with diabetes, he shared it to the whole world. And a lot of radio hosts, not saying if it's good or bad, they don't all do that. but he included them in his life, and he hoped that someone who was going through kidney failure or diabetes would learn from him and take better care of themselves. So he was also still humble enough to share, hoping that he would touch or reach a life. Now, I suffer from migraines. I have seizures, and only now and then I'll say I got a migraine or y'all pray for me, but I never included you all into my health world. And I applaud Doug for doing that, because first of all, that's brave, because everybody don't do that, because they feel like that's their personal business. I'm not going to share that with everybody, but that's the humbleness of Doug Banks. Doug was only 57 years old, young, 57. But he said he lived a prosperous life. He was around millions, and he said he would always make time for his listeners. And I thought that was commendable. How do you feel about the sudden death of Doug Banks, a legendary icon? Did you listen to Banks and Company? Did you listen to the Doug Banks Show? Feel free to call in and share your comments. We would love to hear from you. What were you going to say, Romeo?
Well, just to piggyback on what you said about when you said Doug Banks shared like all his personal business with his audience. One thing I have noticed about Doug, whether he was talking on a local radio station or was he talking on a national show, he would sit and talk on the radio as if he was talking with one person in a room.
Yeah.
So I think that what made it much easier for him. He has never switched up, whether he was talking to 5 people or 5 million people. So
yeah,
he will be missed.
He will. And I was listening to Ramonski and Bonnie and Joe, and just listening to him reminisce, and Beyonce Fox about their history and how he helped them in so many different ways. And they were reminiscing on Banks and Company in the 80s, where he was on GCI with Harold Lee Rush, and they were talking about Ramonski Love was talking about how he started as an intern. And so you will be surprised to know that Doug Banks' legacy will continue to live on. Because nobody will be able to replace Doug Banks. He had a very distinctive voice, very caring. He was funny. He was talented. He is definitely a mentor in my book, and he's definitely an icon that showed everyone how radio should be done, and in the right way it should be done.
Right.
The right way. So we're reminiscing and going down memory lanes with the legendary Doug Banks, saluting him and praying for his family during this difficult time. We would love to hear from you. We're going to take a pause for a cause and come back, saluting and celebrating icon, the legendary Doug Banks. Back in a moment.
Divine Seafood Grill is an upscale seafood restaurant offering simply prepared fresh fish, premium steaks, an impressive wine cellar, and handcrafted cocktails. Sounds intriguing. Our chic, casual atmosphere suits any occasion with seamless upscale service and seafood dishes that truly sets us apart from any other seafood restaurant. Throughout the year, we host exclusive dinners, fundraisers, wine tasting events, private parties, and more. Our privileged guests are devoted foodies and are the first to hear about it via email. You must get on the list. We hope you'll join us at our restaurants in Chicago, Illinois, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Oak Brook Terrace, Illinois, and Miami, Florida. Making Waves with Miss Darci every Tuesday and Thursday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. on IntellectualRadio.com and our radio station, where we certainly feed your brain.
I want to spend more time with my family and those who depend on me.
I want to earn a little extra income now that I'm retired.
I want to work part-time while I put myself through school.
I I want the freedom to follow my passion and still earn a good living.
With Uber, it's all possible.
Uber is a smartphone-based app that connects drivers with riders at the push of a button.
Uber is available 24/7.
It fits around my existing schedule, so I can work whenever and wherever I want.
Accept the fare, and a pickup is just moments away.
Riders are charged automatically through the app, and at the end of each week, I receive a direct deposit into my account.
Safe and easy.
Around the globe, Uber is empowering people to be their own boss.
You can run your business the way you want,
without having to give up on what matters most.
I want to earn more, save more, and plan for my future.
I want the flexibility to spend time on what's important to me. I want the security to be able to chase my dreams.
I want to be part of a growing company that's changing the way people move. I want to be an Uber partner.
Are bill collectors calling you? Are you afraid to answer the phone? Afraid of lawsuits, garnishments, losing your apartment, house, or car? Then call us for your debt relief options. I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Chapter 7 or 13 can relieve the debt pressure. Call us now for a free phone mini consultation or log on to infotapes.com. We're the law firm you trust to get you out of debt.
1-800-401-4010.
American Express for travel and entertainment worldwide.
Just show them this, the American Express card.
Don't leave home without it.
Someday, I may even use it on the moon. It's a marvelous thing.
Oh! So you can replace plane tickets, traveler's checks, a lost card.
Really? That worked?
American Express's timeless safety and security are available on Apple Pay. The next evolution of membership is here.
Our bill
Yep, I hear you. That's so good, I would much rather date it than eat it. Give me a ton of everything that's in here. I'm sorry, say it again. Macaron. Macaron.
I will post the Doug Banks live.
And our very own Doug Banks has the lowdown on that.
That's right, Michelle. You know, Disney cruises are fun for kids of all ages, even kids at heart, like me.
Hey, did you see this in the paper? In New Orleans now, they're trying to rename the New Orleans International Airport to the Louis Armstrong Airport.
Wow.
I like that. Yeah, just in time for his 100th birthday. Go ahead, Louis. 21 minutes past the hour now. It's the Doug Banks Morning Show.
This is Wade Band's nightclub. If you want to come and get your party on, this is the place to do it.
I know. From the 50s through the 90s, you can blast back to your favorite decade here at Wade Bands.
Come home late, it seems you barely beat the sun.
All right, we've just docked our ship at our first port of call, which is Nassau, the Bahamas. A great place for the entire family, but a really nice place for adults. Cruises are all about relaxation, and the Disney cruise has a spa that's second to none. This is living. Now, you know what? This is definitely not like your train set at home or in your basement. This is a 3,500 square foot layout. It's amazing. It takes a train's journey all the way across the country.
And I'll change a single thing, even when I was to fly.
10 years gone like that, unbelievable. But it's been a great 10 years on this very show. With Janet and with Mark and with Eva, it's been wonderful to bring these stories to you around Chicagoland as well as around the entire Midwest. I think one of the greatest things I'll ever take away from this show is the fact of when I run into you all in the streets and when you say how happy or how something made you laugh or something made you think or you found a new restaurant, all because of our show. And for that, we thank you.
We're broadcasting and celebrating and saluting the legendary Doug Banks, the legendary Doug Banks. I love listening to his voice. He has such an amazing voice.
Have you heard?
Turn this up. Let's
It's
listen.
over. I'm back on Monday. Man, do I have a lot of stuff to tell you all about. But listen, Monday afternoon, make sure you are with me, Chicago, because I will be back on the air. Dee Dee and I will be live from the Soul Train cruise. Can't wait to talk to you on Monday. Been waiting so long. Thanks for all the prayers, all the good thoughts, all the well wishes. I think it did some good because I am back. We'll see you Monday at 2 on B103.
WGCI's Doug Banks and Todd birthday.
When in this envelope, you could win $5,000 this Thursday morning.
It's easy. Just put your radio on WGCI.
107.5 FM.
And listen Thursday morning at 7:15.
We'll announce the birthday in this envelope, and if it matches yours, you could win $5,000. Yes.
WGCI, the most music and free money guaranteed.
Somebody's going to win $5,000 Thursday morning at 7:15 on GCI. Somebody like you.
WG.
That's reminiscing for the legendary saluting icon, Doug Banks. Now, earlier this year, he took some time off for chemo for his kidneys. And I think he was gone like maybe a month or two, and he came back and he was full of life and looking forward to it. And we were so happy and honored to have him back because the show just was not the same. We love you, Dee Dee Renee, but we missed that voice of Doug Banks. And what you were just listening to is some of the airtime and the commercials of Doug Banks with Tom Joyner when he made his announcement when he left for 2 months to take care of his health, and he came back and he said he's back, and he thanked his listeners for their praise. And just, you hear nothing but good things about Doug Banks, a man that was in radio for 30 plus years. Imagine that. Imagine that, 30 plus years. And there will be nobody. We don't know who's going to be on from 2 to 6, but Doug Banks was raised in Philadelphia, born and raised, and he was offered a spot as a temporary late night weekend disc jockey for a country station right out of high school. And then he turned that temporary trial into a multi-year gig at K-Day in Los Angeles. Then he moved to the LA station KFI, which helped pave the way to his morning show slot that was in Las Vegas at KLAV-AM. His next 2 stops were KDIA in Oakland, California, and WBMX, which is now WVAZ, Oak Park, Chicago, in Chicago. From 1986 to midnights, and then a morning show, and then he did an afternoon show with WGCI on 107.5. Then the ABC radio network, to show you how fast his career was moving in radio, he was offered the Banks opportunity to do a nationally syndicated show. So he started with the afternoon show, which was the Tom Joyner morning show. And then in 1997, he wanted to move to a morning show instead. So the studio was across the hall from Tom Joyner. So the new studio was hosted by Banks along with his new sidekick co-host, Dee Dee McGuire. And the ratings just went off the roof with Urban Programming America. And then in 2008, the show was canceled. But then Banks, Doug Banks, you know, you can't keep a man down. He relaunched the show. And then it was called The Afternoon Drive under the name The Ride with Doug and Dee Dee. And then they had the Ask the Dear Doug letter came into play, which was the urban adult contemporary audience. So then in July of 2010, Banks moved his show to American Urban Radio Network and renamed it The Doug Banks Show. He hosted some editions of NASCAR. He was on 190 North. Yeah. He made a guest appearance on the sitcom My Wife and Kids as Tom Miller, a friend of the Michael Cow. I'm just trying to, it's so much, he has so much history, and it was just so impossible. I don't know anybody that didn't like Doug Banks. People, when you say Doug Banks is here, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? And, you know, Marv Dyson talked about him. Elroy Smith, talked about all of the fond memories with Doug Banks. And he was in Florida. on Monday when he died of complications related to diabetes and kidney failure. Marv Dyson, who was a longtime friend and former president of general manager of GCI FM 107.5 and WVAZ 102.7. And this is just a sign for all of us, including myself, who have health challenges. You only have one body and one life. So you have to take care of yourself. Mm-hmm. And during the break, Sharon made the statement that sometimes our body is giving us signs and warnings, and we'd be like, oh, it's all right. Oh, it's okay. It'll be okay. If something hurts, you wake up with a mark, you wake up with something, go get it checked out. For me, I can't take pain. I just want a pill. You know, give me something that in 30 minutes I'm gonna be fine. That's just how I feel. I just need 30 minutes and I'm fine. And I know super producer don't want to hear this, but I have an appointment next Monday because I'm sharing. I'm in a sharing mood today. Who knows what's going to happen on Thursday? But right now I'm sharing. I'm going to get a referral to have my first colonoscopy. And I've been putting it off and putting it off. But now I'm going to go and get a referral and get the appointment and get it done. I do want to say that meeting Doug, I'm looking at his picture with him and Bonnie at the Black Women's Expo this past weekend. He was just one of the nicest guys that I know that's in radio. The money, the fame, he was still down to earth. Mm-hmm. He wasn't sedity. He was so humble. He was just a humble person on the air and off the air. I think what you saw was who he was. Right. Because who do you know that would have chemo and then get on a plane to keep their word and fly all the way to Chicago to do radio for the Black Women's Expo? Who do you know that would do that? And who did we know? We wouldn't know last time Chicago fans would embrace Doug Banks. But he did tell Ramonski and Bonnie Deshawn, they was like, man, how you feel? How you really feel? He said, I'm tired. And they was like, yeah, but he said, no, this is a different kind of tired. He said, y'all, I love y'all. He said, but I'm tired. He said, I'm just tired. He said, I've lived, I've loved, I did what I enjoy. He said, but I'm spiritually tired. Mm. That was profound. He's probably up in heaven getting ready to do the Doug's chapter. Okay. Doug Banks, the next chapter. We're doing Doug. This is not a mourning. This is a celebration of life. Right. Celebration of life with Doug Banks. IntellectualRadio.com, Making Waves with Ms. Darci. Every Tuesday and Thursday, take a pause for the cause. If you would like to call in and share, comment, positive, upbeat, your experience with Doug Banks, we would love to hear from you. Romeo, give them the number to call.
The number is 708-223-8953. 708-223-8953.
Back in a moment.
It's 2 for $5 coming at you live.
Hey, sir, welcome to Burger King. How are you? See what he
No pressure. All of America's watching.
Original chicken sandwich.
Big King! And the foul.
How you going to lose when you mix and match?
Mix and match 2 large premium sandwiches for $5 only at Burger King.
Good morning. What can I get for you?
A medium hot coffee, cream and 2 sugars, please.
Medium hot coffee, cream.
At Dunkin', we make your coffee the way you like it. If not, we'll make it again. And on the spot. That's the DD commitment America runs on Dunkin'.
Good morning. What can I get for you?
A medium hot coffee, cream and 2 sugars, please.
Medium hot coffee, cream, 2 sugars. Sounds good.
At Dunkin', we make your coffee just the way you like it. If not, we'll make it again on the spot. That's the DD commitment America runs on Dunkin'.
These 100% beef burgers are stacked with bacon, sweet bourbon sauce, and apparently my mom's fave, spicy sriracha sauce. Eat it. Don't tweet it, Mom.
Denny's Big Burger Bash with burgers starting at $6.99. Denny's, welcome to America's Diner.
It's a new year and the first anniversary of Celebrate, we have an amazing new offer for you. Order Proactive Plus, and for a special limited time, you'll pay just $19.95. Imagine yourself with skin so clear, confident to go after all the things you want. Make it happen today with Proactive Plus.
That's a huge difference. Look at that. Proactive Plus makes me feel amazingly beautiful.
Proactive Plus is dermatology. Seek out and fix problem areas on your skin, and it's proven to work 4 times faster than the leading prescription.
This product is doing it. I started seeing results with Proactive Plus within the first week.
Now's the best time ever to order because we're offering extra savings to first-time customers. Call 1-800-773-5681 to get our 3-step system plus free gifts and free shipping. All just $19.95.
I use Proactive Plus every day. Like, I literally use this stuff.
It's a new year and the first anniversary of Revolutionary Acne Treatment. To celebrate, we have an offer for you. Plus, and for a special limited time, you'll pay just $19.95. Imagine yourself with skin so clear and beautiful, you feel confident to go after all the things you want. Make it happen today with Proactive Plus.
That's a huge difference. Look at that. Proactive Plus makes me feel amazingly beautiful.
Proactive Plus is dermatologist developed to help seek out and fix problem areas on your skin, and it's proven to work 4 times faster than the leading prescription.
This product is doing it. I started seeing results with Proactive Plus within the first week.
Now's the best time ever to order because we're offering extra savings to first-time customers. Call 1-800-773-5681 to get our 3-step system plus free gifts and free shipping. All just $19.95.
I use Proactive Plus every day. Like, I literally use this stuff.
WBU Mix 106.
Coming with the flow, coming with that show, bang, bang. Oh, it's the Dog Bang Show. Turn me up, show, so right.
Right? And, you know, there are some people, one of these people, some people who are afraid. I'm not afraid of climb. Be able to climb every day. I ain't afraid of this climb. You know what? Some people have phobias. They're afraid of certain things. So I thought we'd ask this question today. What are you afraid of? Heights. What are you afraid of? I'm scared of heights. Somebody way off in the back. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me get a mic to you. Where are you? Come here.
Being up in the air,
What's your name?
Natalie. They call me Strawberry.
Strawberry. I love it. Why do they call you that? I love that. All right, now you said you're afraid of
Heights.
Really? So nothing at all? No, you can't.
No, I don't climb ladders or anything like that. No roller coasters.
Really?
Heights.
So you never got up to what is it? Sears Tower? Where is that? Where they got
Sears Tower, John Hancock, nothing like that.
I did, and I got stuck in the middle.
No.
Oh, that was a sign.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why that was somebody telling you to stay off of that.
Exactly.
All right. So Strawberry is afraid of heights. So that's what we're talking about today. Phobias. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of?
I'm afraid of mice.
Mice scare you.
Man, mice, rats, anything like that is a phobia for me. I mean, I have
scare you.
Man, at my house right now, I have probably 12 traps.
Ain't
none of them. I haven't seen one, but I got about 12 of them. Yeah, and you know, we're trying to sell the house now, and so the real estate agent said, you may want to get that up out of here.
Thank you.
He said it would scare people, and they would think that. And I was like, but the problem is I'm that afraid of them. I'm like, I freak out.
Okay, so you know.
I'm afraid of like big women with microphones.
I'm scared of this one right now. I love it. Big women with microphones.
That's beautiful.
All right, so that's.
We were just reminiscing on Doug Banks, a segment where he was asking people what their phobia was and what were they afraid of. And Dee McGuire said she was afraid of mice, and this other young lady said she was afraid of heights. So we're reminiscing on Doug. It's still hard to believe that he's actually no longer with us. And again, he is a legendary. He made his last appearance here in Chicago Friday at the Black Women's Expo at McCormick Place, and he was photographed with former co-host Brian Deshawn, who wrote on Facebook. She says, "I love you, Doug, and I'm so grateful I got to spend a few precious moments with you on Friday. I haven't lost you. Your spirit will forever surround me, and you will be in my heart forever." Doug Banks is nothing but positiveness, nothing but when you think about memories with him, that smile, that distinguished voice, he will always go down as a radio broadcaster in history. I just feel it was a privilege to meet him on more than one occasions. I have my picture that I took with him last year and the advice that I will cherish. A lot of people it's still devastating for individuals just still taking it in, because he was not only a radio personality, he was an entertainer, he was a dad, he was a husband, he was real, he was humble, and he didn't let radio media change him. He remained who he was, and it was a privilege to know him and to be able to share in his legacy with his children. So imagine, he was also on, I forgot to mention, I don't know if I mentioned that he was on 190 North for a while. He just has a great personality. He has that megawatt type smile and that distinguished voice. So even with his health challenges, he was upbeat. He was relentless. Because again, I don't know nobody that will have chemo. I don't even know what it's like to have chemo, but to have chemo and find the strength because of a commitment and get on a plane and fly to Chicago and then do another show, take pictures, hug, handshake with people, make small talk, and know deep down inside that you're not feeling well.
Wow.
Imagine that. So people who are out here complaining for little things, stop. There's no excuses. There's no excuses. It's about to piss me off. There's no excuses. So Chicago, we miss him. A lot of people are still mourning. He is survived by his wife and his daughters, Kelly and Kennedy. Funeral arrangements, I guess, are still pending. We love you, Doug Banks, and we're saluting you. And all I can say is I'm like Beyonce. I can't sing and, I can move a little bit, but not like the way Beyonce moves. Our prayers are with you. You're gone, but you're not forgotten. Any closing you want to say about Doug?
Well, he was a great guy. Although he's gone on, his legacy will always be here. I'm sure they're going to play his shows constantly.
Yeah.
We will always be able to YouTube him. And as long as we have his memory in our hearts, he will never be anywhere.
Yeah. You have anything, Khalil, you want to say?
I just send my prayers out to his family and friends. I know it's not easy to deal with the death, but Doug really changed radio.
Yes, he did.
He should be proud of himself for that.
Yeah. So we're going to go out with a commercial with Doug Banks with Diana Ross. So here we go.
This is from me and Brianna. Oh my God! The fantastic voice! Oh my God! It's Tom Jordan. You're going in April. Oh my God! You've been saving pennies for a year? Oh my God!
Closing, I want to say to everyone, thank you all for listening to Making Waves with Miss Darci every Tuesday and Thursday right here on IntellectualRadio.com and our heart radio station. I want to thank my intern, Khalil Scott, and my co-host, Romeo Tate. And in closing, I want to say, live your life. And we only have one body, so take care of it. Build your own dreams, or someone else will hire you to build theirs, and that would be us. And we're out.